Welcome to Cherry Blossom Yoga. I'm Robin Dinerman. This is a half-hour Hatha Yoga class for beginning and continuing students. I hope you're wearing something loose and comfortable and you have not eaten a big meal before you are doing this class. If you've eaten, please wait, especially because we're going to do some inverted postures. So we're going to begin with some energy boosters that limber up the spine and the pelvic area. We'll be keeping our knees bent throughout, so why don't you join me? So I will stand at a little bit of an angle here so you can see my bent knees. And the first posture asana we're going to do is the water wheel, Vari Chakasana. So you place your hands at the lower back, thumbs outward, tilt your head up just a little, and look up and across the sky or the ceiling wherever you are, knees slightly bent. Relax your jaw, let it open a bit, but breathe in through your nose. And then exhale, and just like a water wheel, you're going to pour the water out and come forward. You don't need to come all the way down to the floor, but then tuck your chin in and hang out, lifting the sit bones. You might come down only halfway, which is fine, because a lot of people are tight in the backs of their legs and in the lower back. So coming up, we're going to take our time, the hands walking up the legs, tilting the pelvis under by firming the buttocks, roll the shoulders back into place, press the feet down into the floor, and stand tall. Okay, let's try that again. So palms right behind you, pressing gently into the lower back area. Take your breath in, relax your jaw, bend your knees, and exhale and pour the water out. Feel how gravity is pulling your head down, the shoulders. You might feel the stretching now in the lower back. You might attempt to straighten the knees one at a time, just a little bit. And then walk your hands up, uncurl the spine, shoulders roll back into place, stand tall, let the shoulders sink and the neck grow long, and we'll try that again. You can do this about 8 to 10 times. We're not going to do that many here, but I want to be sure that you have had a chance to learn this. So knees bent, eyes look up, breathe in, and you can make a ha sound as you come down. And tuck your chin in, hang out. And breathe. And if you can pull your belly back toward the spine, you'll create more space for the upper body. And then you can use your hands for a little balance, straightening one knee and bending the other. Letting the back of your neck stretch, keeping your heels down on the floor. And enjoy the stretch through the calf muscles, the hamstrings. And you'll feel the lower back starting to loosen up. And walk the hands up. So that's one way to boost your energy and keep your spine flexible. And then the next one will be a standing cat stretch. So we're going to bend the knees with the hands right at the hip hinges, keeping your back as straight as you can to begin with. Inhale, let your belly fill with air and round. Exhale, tighten the belly, arch your back like a cat, roll the shoulders forward, tuck the chin in right to the chest, try to bring the elbows together. Let all the air out. Inhale, pressing, uncurling upward. Inhale, and exhale. Back rounded. You can see my knees are pretty much bent. And then straightening almost all the way. Inhaling. And exhaling. And one more time. And exhale. Now, from here, try to lift the upper chest, straightening the back, and look across the floor. Loosely interlace your fingers, lightly place your hands right on top of your thighs. Now we're going to move only the knees and the ankle joints. So also take a moment to drop your shoulders away from your ears. So we're going to straighten the knees about 98%. Exhaling, take a seat down. This is great for oiling or lubricating the ankles and the knees. Breathing in, breathing out. So as you're doing this, maybe your breath is becoming a little bit deeper, so you can take a little bit more time. Tighten the belly muscles, get all the air out. Take a seat. Big breath in, exhale. And then from here, we're going to go to the wood chopper, which is another one which boosts energy, releases a lot of tension, and it's kind of fun to do. In class, I'll say, think about your desk at work or all the dishes you have to clean, whatever it is that you don't want to do. So now the wood chopper has a big axe in his hands, or her hands, and you inhale up and bring the arms at least alongside the ears. Eyes look up, take your breath, knees bent, and you're going to make a big chopping sound as you come forward. Lift the sit bones and inhale up and chop. And exhale. And release the arms. And again, let's straighten the right knee as you bend the left. Straighten the left as you bend the right. And you may feel that the muscles are a bit warmed up now. And you can lift the sit bones higher. It's easier to straighten the legs. So I'm going to put the weight on my left foot and left hand, take a hold of the right ankle, move the foot 1 footstep forward, and walk the hands forward, still pressing both heels down to the floor. And walk the hands back, bending the left knee, bring up the toes of the right foot. You may be able to balance here. Arms out, in line with your shoulders, foot down, and slide the foot back. And we'll repeat on the other side. So weight on the right foot, right hand, take a hold of the left foot. Your feet are still hip distance apart. Walk the hands forward, pressing the heels downward. Let your head hang. Even though my legs might appear to be straight, I still have a tiny bit of flexion in the knees. Then walk the hands back, bending the right side, lifting up the toes of the left foot. Lift the back of the neck, straighten out the arms. Breathe as you hold the posture. And lower the foot, slide it back into place, and why don't we walk the hands a little bit forward, lengthen the spine, including the back of your neck, arms out at T position, press the feet into the floor, come up, and bring the hands up over your head. You can interlace the fingers, have the arms slightly bent, and let's lean and exhale to the side. Inhale, center, and exhale to the other side. And come to center, let the hands separate, let them sink down, and float to your sides. We're going to take a short break, and we'll return to Cherry Blossom Yoga in just a moment. Please join me. We'll be down on the floor. Welcome back to Cherry Blossom Yoga. Come join me on your mat or your towel or your carpet, wherever you might be. We're going to do some movements and postures that are good for the spine, and then such as cat, and then move into downward dog, which helps build strength through the upper body, the hands, wrists, shoulders. And we'll try a few other things, maybe a few twists. So come into table pose, Madhyasana. Flatten your back, lift the back of your neck, heels turned outward, inner elbows turned inward. And take a deep breath, let your belly fill and round with your in-breath. Exhaling, pull the belly back into the pelvis, tighten the buttocks, and tilt the pelvis under. Tailbone gets tucked underneath, chin comes to the chest, and inhale and strengthen and lengthen. Exhaling and arch, inhaling and lengthen, and arch, and lengthen. Take a longer in-breath. Don't let yourself sink down. And exhale and arch. And then side to side, chin to the shoulder. Try to bring your shoulder up to your, or down to your hip. Just a little swinging of the hips side to side. And then we're going to pull back into extended child. Pressing the finger pads into the mat, reach outward, and at the same time pull your hips away from your shoulders. I do this pose, extended child, in every class. And then walk one hand after the other. Remember, a flexible spine is a youthful spine. And then let the hands slide back, bringing the shoulders away from your ears. The fingers are spread, a little cushion of air under your palms. Lift upward, back into table. We're going to do cat on a wheel, so bringing the elbows outward, the face down toward the floor, and then you pull the hips back and elongate the spine as you stretch, arching up into cat. Inhale, flat back down. Exhale, pulling back. Exhale, arching up. And a brief in breath. Here we go. In, out, out, in. And then pause for a moment. You can let your head hang. You can make a fist pillow. Let the shoulders sink. Feel the nice stretch through the lower back. The shoulders may start to sink down. And when you exhale, allow the stretching to happen. So back into extended child, and we're going to reverse. We're going to glide forward, bringing the face between the hands. You see the elbows are out. This is your in-breath now. Out-breath, exhaling and arching. Out-breath, pulling back. Inhale, gliding forward. Exhale, arch. Exhale, pull back. So you're in the arch for just a moment, and then you flatten the back again. Now, some people don't find this position very comfortable, so they separate their knees a bit wider than hip distance. So you can try placing the knees farther apart, and then pause. And again, resting, shoulders sinking. And then back into extended child, lifting up into table. Inner elbows towards each other. And from here, we're going to go into Adho Mukha Svanasana, which is downward dog. Pardon my pronunciation. So if your head's starting to sink, lift the back of your neck, turn the toes under, and you're going to press the balls of the feet into the floor. And what I like to do, or what I was taught to do, was to move the feet back farther away, but always keeping the heels up off the floor a couple of inches or so. So you can press down through the heels, which increases the stretch in the backs of the legs. I'm looking through between my feet, not lifting the head at all, and then little by little I try to lift the sit bones and lengthen the spine. And of course, remember to breathe. Now, coming out of this, there's various ways to do this, but here's what I like to teach my beginning students. Bring the shoulders right above the wrists. Let yourself come down very gently onto your knees. Release the feet. Pull back and let your arms rest. And coming up again into table, turning the toes under, pressing up into downward dog, adjusting the space between the hands and the feet, getting that nice long spine. Then we're going to press down with one heel and lift the other up. So this really intensifies the stretch in the calf muscles. Now, make sure you have that little cushion of air under your palms, and you're pressing down with the first two fingers and the thumbs, or your wrist might be telling you to stop. So now we're going to push both heels down and come up onto the toes, bringing the shoulders above the wrists. And then lift the back of your neck, and then back again into the downward dog. And come forward on the toes, and then press down. Now for the more advanced, I'm going to turn my hand to the left and bring my right arm to my leg. Notice both feet are down on the floor, and I'll bring the right hand down, pivot the feet over to the right, shoulder above the wrist. And back to center. Let the knees down very gently. Pull back into extended child and let your head sink down. Letting your head hang down, walk your hands back towards your body, uncurl your neck. Come into a seated posture. We'll do some simple, very simple twists. I like to sit on the fold of my blanket to elevate my hips, which helps to open the groin. So we'll sit in Sukhasana, the easy posture, one leg in front of the other, and sit tall. And to begin with, we're simply going to take a breath in, turn to one side, place your hands on top of the thigh, exhale, and pulling against that thigh, twisting, looking over the shoulder, let the eyes go to the corners, and then release and breathe. And both hands on top of the other thigh, take your breath in and twist to the other side, looking over the shoulder and back to center. This time one hand on the leg, the other hand on top, fingertips touching the shoulder and twisting around. I'm still pushing into this leg. And come to center. And back. And pause. Then we're going to exchange legs to help balance out. And bring the fingertips together with the arms at shoulder height, the blade, bringing the elbows back, and then crossing the arms over each other. Inhale and exhale. Very good. It's time to prepare for the relaxation. If you'd like to stay in a seated position, that's fine. If you'd like to come down to the floor into Shavasana, the corpse pose, come on down onto your back. And I like to press the feet into the mat, pushing my waist, flattening it to the floor, pulling the belly down. And some people like to have their knees bent for Shavasana because of lower back issues. If you can, straighten the legs, that's fine. If not, keep the knees bent and turn the palms up. Feel how the chest opens and lifts. When you turn the palms open, breathe in, tuck the shoulder blades in toward the spine, and allow your breath to flow deeply and easily into your body, and sinking down with the out breath. Keep your focus on your breath. Visualize it traveling up your nostrils, down your throat, and filling your body, traveling to every cell, nourishing the cells with fresh oxygen, and exhaling, letting go not only of waste, but tension. Breathing in lightness and well-being, feeling peace and serenity with the out-breath. Now placing your feet on the floor, just slightly to the side, push off, rolling onto your hip. And let your head rest on your arm or blanket, bringing your knees up so you're in basically a fetal position. Becoming more aware of your body and your breath again. Using your top hand, let your head hang down, push the floor away, walk your hands back towards your body, spiral to the front, and return to a seated position. Try to set aside a few minutes every day to be quiet mentally, to breathe deeply, and refresh yourself. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're feeling wonderful, and I hope you can carry that feeling with you into your day, into your week, and into your life. Namaste.